What I have been learning on this spiritual path is that the fewer voices we listen to, the clearer we can hear God's voice, and the more, I guess, susceptible or vulnerable we are to the Holy Spirit. When we are listening to so many different people, 101 pastors, 101 preachers, even following many people on Instagram, I feel like it's too many voices. We become too clouded, too open to what other people are saying and thinking and feeling and believing, that it almost quietens our own spiritual voice, our own spiritual guidance, and it becomes harder to hear what the Holy Spirit is saying to us when we are listening to so many other people. And I feel like maybe that's part of the reason why God says in His word to be still, because when we be still and quieten ourselves and everything that is happening around us, it is only then when we can remember that He is God. When we are listening to so many people and when life is so busy, it's hard to feel connected to Spirit, to feel like you have that constant communication with Him. I'm on this quest to pursue and also achieve spiritual minimalism. And for me, that means having a direct connection with the Most High. I feel like that is just so much less complex and onerous than what I was trying to do before. And what I was doing before was all of those New Age practices. And I know the New Age isn't new, but it is new in comparison to the pure belief in the Most High. When you think about the beginning, Christianity, or whatever you want to call our faith, it's just so much more pure and simple than following all of these New Age practices. And for me, that gives me a sense of peace, knowing that I'm not trying to seek and do 101 different things like the New Age world requires us to do in order to achieve, wholeness or peace. That world was just so overwhelming for me personally, because it always felt like it was a never ending journey, like there was something else we had to do, a new workshop to attend, or a new healer to listen to, a new practice to learn. There was just so much in that world, and I'm really loving the simplicity of following Christ. I am loving it, honestly. And I think Christian minimalism or spiritual minimalism also involves not listening to too many voices. So even within our spiritual walk, I think we should be cautious about how many people we listen to. So many of us listen to 101 preachers. We listen to or follow 101, Christian influencers on Instagram, on TikTok. We're doing the most, and we have pure intentions, right? We follow all of these people because we believe that, oh, it's helping us remain connected to God. But there's a different element to following so many different people. Sometimes we can be listening to so many different voices, or have so many different voices and opinions speaking in our ears, that it becomes hard to hear the voice of the Father Himself. We see that Jesus often retreated to quiet, lonely places in order to reconnect with the Father. So that for me, it speaks to spiritual minimalism, because it's about trying to reduce and decrease the number of voices, people, opinions that we allow into our space, so that we can remain connected to the Father and can continuously hear His voice. That's what I'm trying to do at the moment. Although I never really was the kind of Christian that followed 6 million preachers online. I've never really been a huge follower of preachers and even Christian influencers, to be fair. But there is definitely the temptation as we, explore and read more on this journey, to want to add more and more sources of information to our arsenal. But I think we need to be cautious at the same time and have frequent review points where we review who we're following online, where we review, what churches I've attended in the past few months, and can I stop church hopping, for example? Can I stop following X, Y, and Z people? Can I try and whittle everything down just to the pure basics, the pure word, the people who are just preaching and teaching straight from the Bible? There isn't any harm per se in having multiple preachers that we listen to or that we watch on YouTube, etc. That isn't bad in and of itself. We even see in the Bible that, there are times when the Israelites, the Hebrews, they listened to multiple people. They didn't just listen to Moses, for example. He delegated to other men in the camp. When we look inwards, that's probably when we will know if we are following too many voices, if we need to quieten things down and remove people from our spaces. For me personally, I know when I'm potentially listening to too many people or following too many people, when I internally feel frazzled, when I feel overwhelmed, when I feel like I don't know how to start a particular task because there are just so many thoughts, so many voices in my head. That's when I think, okay, how can I achieve more peace and more stillness? And I usually go to my social media accounts and I review who I'm following, and I may do a little bit of a spring clean. We don't realize it, but it does impact how we feel, how clear we feel, how much clarity we feel. For me, trying to keep this spiritual journey as simple as possible and not trying to overcomplicate things and add too many things to my journey, for me, that helps me feel grounded and less overwhelmed. The more I feel at one and in tune with myself as well, and the less frazzled and overwhelmed I feel. I notice that difference. I can feel it within me. I notice and feel when I'm just overwhelmed, when I need to establish peace and quiet in my life. There are some evenings, for example, where I just switch everything off, where I don't listen to any YouTube in the background, any audiobooks, nothing. I just have quiet silence because I need to reconnect with myself and my own spirit and with Holy Spirit as well. So there definitely are occasions that call for literal silence, where you're silencing all other voices so that you can hear from yourself and realign with the Holy Spirit as well. I find that really restorative. And I find myself having to do that every now and again because the world and society we live in, there's technology everywhere. All day, every day, we are bombarded with information non-stop. We're bombarded with different people's opinions, different people's thoughts. Everyone's trying to sell us things all the time. So it is important for us to step away, to retreat, to withdraw like Jesus did and enter our own spiritual desert, our own quiet place frequently. Don't leave it to when you feel like so burdened, so overwhelmed, like you just feel like your head's gonna burst. Try and make it a regular practice so that your soul never feels so malnourished that you feel like you're literally on your last legs. I don't schedule it, I don't have it in my diary, but I just try and do it every now and again. Just create that stillness, that quietness, that silence that helps me just feel aligned and connected to the Most High, and it reduces the amount of times where I just feel so overwhelmed by this world and like, yeah, life is just getting too much. And I'm not saying that I'm always in a state of spiritual bliss. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think that's even realistic, but it helps us remain connected to that a bit more if we try and incorporate spiritual minimalism into our daily, weekly, monthly practice. So let me know what you got out of this video, if anything did stand out to you, if you will take away anything specific. Do subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing more of these spiritual videos. Yeah, definitely more of these videos coming up. Thank you for being here. I will see you in the next video.